Today on Dead with Dave, we're going to go back and have a look at the past 50 episodes. We're going to review the HauntBots 4-play prop controller. Jason Becker joins the crew with his quick tips. And we're going to have some time-lapse photo fun. So sit back, relax, because this all starts now. Hello and welcome to the 50th episode of Dead with Dave. Wow, 50 episodes. Let me tell you, I never thought I'd be able to make 50 episodes. I started running out of shit to talk about in episode 10. I've just been kind of bullshitting through 40 episodes now. But seriously, 50 episodes is a huge milestone for me, and I couldn't have done that without you guys. Your love and support over the years has really kept me going. And even when I hit my Halloween slump and, I didn't want to do the show anymore, I was able to go back and read your comments on YouTube and on Facebook, and it really did help me push through and fall back in love with Halloween. So a big thank you to all my viewers. You guys rock. In celebration of my 50th episode, I put a little video together just going back in time, remembering some of the highlights from the past 50 episodes. The show really has changed over time, especially in quality. I really don't know if you guys have went back in time and watched episode 1. I just recently did, and it is definitely cringeworthy. I mean, really bad. I really have no clue why anyone would have followed me after that episode. But I sure am glad you did. What's up, guys? This is the greatly anticipated show of the year. It's called Dead with Dave. The options are endless when you have a prop controller. This, you have one option. And basically the option turns out to be it's going to suck. And that's my opinion. I know some people do use these to activate their props and it works great for them. I have found zero luck with this. The biggest pointer I can do is tell you is practice. Practice again, practice some more, and just keep on welding. You just gotta weld. That's all you can do. Next, we're gonna run all our tubing. Now, this is just 1/8" diameter tubing I get from Home Depot. It's very, very cheap, so don't be skimpy with it. Make sure you run extra long lengths so you don't get any kinks. I always make very big loops when running tubing. She's been telling me for quite some time that she's going to the beach, even though it's a folding chair.
It's my beach. And I'm going to the beach.
It's nighttime. How are you going to the beach when it's not? It's
my beach towel.
It's not a beach towel.
It's
a hand towel.
It's my beach towel and my beach umbrella.
That's not. That's a regular umbrella, which we need right now. It's raining.
My sunbrella.
It's a sun.
Not umbrella. Sunbrella.
Hey baby, Halloween's the best, because it gives me a chance to dress like a total slut.
Now on to the sad news. As you might have already seen, Fat Guy Puker is no longer with us. He's not here. He's been deteriorating the past year very bad. And I can actually show you a couple pictures from last year and from this year. And you can see that how bad he's actually gotten. We built 6 fully functioning thrashers in about 6 hours. That's not too bad considering all the laying out, cutting, and drilling that had to be done. To put in perspective, we made over 300 cuts and drilled over 500 holes throughout all the component parts that make up these 6 thrashers. The first step is to put a light dusting of your lighter color. This is that heirloom white I got. I'm just dusting it very lightly at a 90-degree angle to the picture frame. You basically just want to make it look like shit, so don't try to cover it at all. Just make sure to only apply the foam over where you have the base paint. Remember, if you look at it from the other side of the glass, you don't want to see any yellow foam. It will just stick out like a sore thumb. Now, if the foam expands a little too much, just knock it down with your hand before it starts to tack up. To continue on with our goal of making better videos, we have to start getting into the single most important aspect of all video and photography, and that's lighting. As I'm sure you already know all too well, bad lighting can take an otherwise awesome looking haunt and make it look like a total piece of shit on video. Now, I hope we can all be grown-ups here. This is just perma-wet being applied to a movie prop that looks like nothing else. We don't have to think like 12-year-olds all the time. Ah, screw it, this is just too funny. Some of my favorite alcoholic drinks are the Black Magic cocktails, Pumpkin Spice Punch, and Witch's Brew shots. If made right, those are really fucking good. And of course, any seasonal fall beer will work perfect too, so don't forget to pick yourself up a case or so. For people that don't drink, or maybe for the kids, the easiest drinks I have found to make are to take regular fruit punches, iced teas, and sodas, and maybe dress up their bottles, or put them in a crazy container, or just, get a cool punch bowl. Something Halloween theme will work perfectly. I was excited when I saw a package from Midnight Syndicate, but as soon as I opened it up and I saw the words Christmas written all over it, I was like, the new Midnight Syndicate. Let's see what we got. Midnight Syndicate. Christmas. The new album features a band's unique twist on holiday carols blended with new material. Holiday carols? What the fuck? Fucking Holly fucking carols! Holly fucking carols! Fuck that! Again, thank you all for your support. Hopefully, I can do another 50, but with only 6 episodes or so a year, that's going to take a while. Okay, so today we are going to go back to a normal Dead with Dave. The last couple episodes have been specials. I did the Halloween special, I did the Christmas special, but it's time to go back to the normal show. So for our first real segment of today, we're going to start with a review. HauntBots sent me over their brand new 4-play prop controller for a review. This is a self-contained 4-channel controller with audio. And holy shit, am I happy to get my hands on this thing. Last year, I was lucky enough to review their E3 prop controller, which was a 3-channel controller with audio. And I really, really loved that controller, and I had no problem giving it a great review. Now, HauntBots has come out with the 4-play, which is kind of sort of based on the E3, but has so much more to offer. I'm going to run through how I tested it and give a full review in just a few minutes, but first, let me give you the rundown of the specs so you guys know what you're looking at. The 4-play is a fully self-contained 4-channel prop controller. Self-contained meaning it's programmed on board via front panel buttons, keybanger style. It has a full-color TFT LCD display. Now, I don't have any clue what TFT means, but hey, it really is an awesome little display. It has 8 megs of flash memory and runs at 25 frames per second, which can give you up to 90 minutes of animated showtime. It has a single channel 40 watt Class D amplifier, which is plenty of power for most situations. But if you need more power, it also comes with an audio line out jack to plug into any powered speaker. It has 4 solid state outputs, which matches the power of your input. So if you need 12 volts to your prop or whatever you're running, just run the unit on 12 volts. If you need 24 volts to your prop, just run the unit on 24 volts. And of course, anything in between will work. It has nice detachable wire terminals that accept up to a 14 gauge wire, which is always nice. It accepts a single trigger input, which can be PNP, normally open or normally closed, meaning it will basically accept any trigger you want to use. It has a USB port for loading in audio files and also downloading and uploading show files. It comes in the HauntBots signature heavy duty aluminum case. This case makes the HauntBots controller line the most rugged Halloween prop controller on the market. You can literally run this thing over with a car and nothing will happen. So that's your basic info, but there is so much more to talk about on this controller. So I'm just going to move right into the testing phase and feature outlook because it's a little long, but stick with me because you want to see everything this HauntBots controller can do. So here you see my setup. This is my little testing bench, so to speak. I have everything you would possibly need to test out a prop controller. We have a 12 volt light. We have a flash cracker inside of a fuse panel that I made myself. We have a pneumatic cylinder with a solenoid valve. And we have a little air blaster with a smaller solenoid valve. So we're just going to test it out. I'm going to show you step by step how I program it and we'll see how it does. So here we are. You can see that there are 4 buttons on the bottom. Each one of these buttons corresponds with an output. And then you have an enter button on the top. This is how you navigate through the menu screen. And if you click and hold that enter button, that's going to bring you to that menu screen. You can navigate the menu by pushing out the outside buttons. The right button's going to go down, left button's going to go up, and so on and so forth. Now to start off, we're just going to go to setup. Now we're going to start to set up the controller. And just click enter and it brings you to your setup screen. Now going from the top to bottom, we'll start with show count. The show count is how many shows you can actually program. You can program 1 show, you can program all the way up to 9 shows and anything in between, which is really nice to have different animation for a prop. We're going to leave it at number 5 for today, just for the shits and giggles. Then you have ambient. This is going to be an on or off toggle. The ambient is what it's going to do while it's not running a show. Right here we're going to run with an ambient on. Now we have the trigger mode. Now this is where you're going to set it to normally open or normally close depending on whatever trigger you're using. Today we're going to set it to normally open. Next is your trigger mode. Now this is what you're going to actually activate every time your trigger is pressed or walked in front of or whatever. You can trigger show 1, show 2, show 4, show 5. You can trigger the next show. You can even trigger the previous show. This is just going to tell your controller what your trigger is actually triggering. You have a lot of options here, so it's really nice to be able to change them up as you go. We're going to set it to trigger show number 1, because that's what we're going to program. Okay, we're going to skip down here to lock. This is simple if you want to lock the controller. After you get everything all set and done and perfect, just the way you want, you lock the controller so there's no way to make a change. There's no way to screw it up. If you want to make a change, you come here, you unlock it, and you're good to go. Right now, we're just going to not lock it. Now let's go to exit. We're going to go back to the previous screen, and now we're actually going to edit a show. We're going to program a show right now in live view so you guys can see what we're doing. Now we have the list of shows that we have. We have ambient show 1 through 5 because we only clicked 5 shows, but we can go up to 9 shows if we want, or we can just do 1 show if we want. So if you just go down, you can program each show individually, and I think we're just going to start with programming show number 1 because that's what we have our trigger activating. So we're going to click right down to audio. Now this is where we're going to associate the audio files to what show we want. Now I already have preloaded on here some audio clips, as you're going to hear. This is actually preloaded from HauntBots. Thank you, Pete, for loading these up for me, so it saves me a lot of time. But he actually loaded up like 33 audio files, which is really cool. But you can load up as many audio files as you want. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter the lengths. Just whatever you want in here, and you can choose from them later. A little bit of side note, though, you don't want to load up too many audio files because it does take up space. It's going to shorten the amount of show time you can record. We can go through here real quick just to find a good audio file for us to program our show to. Next is the volume. Now this is a really cool function. Being able to control the volume of each of your audio clips. So if you have an audio clip that's not kind of loud enough or is too loud, you'll be able to adjust those audio files independently from each other. That is huge when it comes to controllers, especially a controller like this where you can use multiple audio files. So that's a really, really good option. Next is the fade control. This is if you want the audio clip to fade in slowly and fade out slowly, or if you want it to be abrupt. I think we should have it fade in and out, so we'll just click yes. And now we're just going to go back into the main menu. Now we're going to have some fun. We're actually going to record the show. You can see here we have 4 indicator lights. Those indicator lights correspond with the buttons that are on the control. Those 4 buttons control your outputs. If you push a button, you're going to see the yellow light turn to red and then turn back to yellow. This is just telling the controller what you want to program. You can program them individually. So here we go. We're going to program output number 4, which is my light. And if we hit enter, it'll give you a nice quick 3, 2, 1 countdown. Now every time I push the button for output number 4, my light will light. And what's really nice is this controller has very responsive buttons. It takes the lightest touch to activate them. It's really cool. So you can get a very fast flicker. You can get a very fast activation just by moving your finger pretty quickly. Once you're done, you just hit enter and it stops the recording. If we go back, record show again. Now we deactivate trigger number 4 or output number 4 and we'll activate output number 1. Hit enter, countdown will start again. It'll play back the animation you just programmed for 4 at the same time as you're programming for number 1. So it's going to play back everything that you recorded already. Once you're done, you hit enter. We're done with number 1. Go back to record show. Hit enter. Deactivate number 1 and activate number 2. We get that same 3, 2, 1 countdown again. Number 4 is going to play back. Number 1 is going to play back. And now we can program number 2. Once you're done, again, hit enter, go back, record show. Deactivate number 2, activate number 3, and do it all over again. This makes for very precise animation. A little bit of an air blast there for you, huh? It's so stupid. I didn't have anything else to hook up, so why not? And that's basically it. We just programmed an entire show. It was that easy and it was that quick. Now we do have a couple of more tweaks we can do, a couple more options here on the menu screen. We have override. Now this is where if you want to set it to override the show every single time the trigger is activated, or if you don't want to override the show, you want it to play through the entire animation, just click no. You have pre and post delay. It's from 0 to 99 seconds, depending on if you want a pre-delay or a post delay. Now there's one more thing I want to do, and that's program the ambient motion. I want this prop to do something when it's not being triggered. I just don't want it to sit there and pretend it's static. I want it to do something. So we're going to program a quick flashing light. And we're just going to do the exact same thing we did before while programming the show number 1. We're just going to find our audio clip. We're going to adjust our volume. We're going to adjust our fade in and fade out. Same exact thing we did for the show. We're just doing the same thing here for the ambient mode. Now I just want to program for output number 4, and that's our light. I just want to give it a little bit of a flashy light effect. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do while the prop isn't being, activated or doing its motion or whatever you want it to do. Just giving it some life when there's nobody around. And that's it. This is going to loop automatically. So it don't have to be that long. I only program it for maybe a minute or 30 seconds. It'll loop automatically, so that's fine. Now you do have a loop delay option. If you want it to take a little time in between its loops, you can set it up from 0 to 99. I don't want a loop delay, so I'm just gonna leave it at 0. And that's it. We programmed our ambient. We have our motion for show 1. If we exit out of here and go back to the main screen, it'll automatically start running. and it'll start with this ambient mode. And here it is. The ambient mode is now running. Got a little bit of music playing back, lights flashing. This is just what it's going to loop over and over and over again, and that is it. Then, if you press on the step mat, it automatically switches to show 1, giving us our entire animation. After show 1 is done playing, it automatically switches back to ambient mode and just plays our flashing light and a little bit of music in the background, just giving it some life. As you can see, this controller can really perform. And if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, it would easily get a 9 from me for a 4-channel prop controller. It really is everything one would need in a prop controller. And the only reason I don't give it a perfect 10 is because of just 2 simple things. Number 1 being its price. $160 is pretty high. Now, I'm not saying it's not worth $160. Once you start using this controller, you'll see how awesome it is. I mean, we all know haunters are pretty cheap when it comes to buying things, and blowing $160 on something nobody gets to see or even knows is there really is a tough sale. The second issue I have is the software. The software is a bit bitchy to get installed on your computer. Once you do get it installed and you get your controller hooked up and running, it works fine and it's easy to use. But there is a lot of steps between getting it installed, loading the drivers, and then you gotta make sure the COM ports are correct. It can be a bit of a time-consuming process. But even with those 2 minor things, I mean minor, $160 isn't minor, but this is still my favorite new 4-channel prop controller. They also have an 8-channel version. It's basically the same exact thing, just twice the outputs and twice the inputs. It's called, I believe it's called the Vision 8 or the V8. So if you have need for more outputs but still want the same ease of use, then this setup might be something for you too. So check that out on their website. I'm pretty sure it's called the Vision 8 or the V8. But I do love the 4-play prop controller. Definitely something you should look into if you're in the market for a new controller. Go over to HauntBots.com for all the information. You will love this controller. I promise you.
Hey guys, I got a quick little tip on an inexpensive way to use a video effect in one of your props or your displays without the use of a DVD player or laptop or something that I think you guys would really like. So on eBay, I found these cheap, inexpensive digital photo frames. They run about $30 and they come over from China. The cool thing about these is they'll play a video file on a loop. I used one of these on a similar project here lately and it worked out really well. So I'm going to show you guys how to get your video onto this, and it's really easy. So a couple segments ago, back in like 2013, David mentioned that members of the Pandemic Cemetery have access to all these cool little perks. If you're not a member of Pandemic Cemetery, you should be. It's only like $30 a year. It's less than a Big Mac per month. So if you go here to the website, and once you log in, you can go to the members tab, and this is where he has all the access to different things. There's prop mechanics, video effects, sound effects, fonts, all sorts of stuff. What we're going to do is click on the video effects here, and he has a couple different ones. We're going to use this hospital monitor. And if you scroll down here, there's all these different versions of it. You know, you got the ones with the heavy glitch, light glitch, you know, flat line, you name it. He also has different aspect ratios, 16:9 HD. He also has 4:3 aspect ratio, which I don't know why. It's not 1985, Dave. Nobody has a 4:3 monitor anymore. So we're going to go ahead and click on one of these. We're just going to click one of the light glitch one. So we're going to download the 16:9 one here. And we're going to go to desktop. I'm just going to create a new folder, Dead with Dave. Click and save it. Now another thing you could do is go ahead and download all of these different video effects and put them in a folder, and then you can decide later which one you want to use. So once you got your files downloaded, we have to put them onto an SD card. Now I ordered these the same time that I ordered the monitors, and I get a 1 gig for like $4 or $5. They're really cheap. So I'm going to go ahead and put this SD card into my computer, and we're going to open up the file. I'm going to move that down here for right now. Then I'm going to go back to my desktop and find my Dead with Dave folder. And there I have my monitor file. So I'm just going to go over and drag it onto the SD card. Now remember, if you download multiple video files, the one that you want to play on the loop has to be here on the very first thing it sees on the G drive. So if you have another folder with all files, put them all in here because it's going to play the first one that it sees, and this is the one that's going to play on a loop. If you have multiple video files here listed, it's going to play one right after another. Now that might be something you want to do, but just keep that in mind. So now that we've got our files downloaded onto our SD card, we can take our little LCD screen and plug it in. We'll let this thing fire up for a second. Goes through this little startup warm-up, and you get the main menu. Now, this is how simple this is. All we got to do is take the SD card, plug it into the side here, and it starts going just like that. It's that simple. Let me show you one other thing. So I paused this video real quick. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it also has a earphone jack built into it, which means we can hook it up to an external speaker as well. The speaker that's built into this little screen is pretty crappy. It's tiny. It's not very loud. But if we plug that in and now we press play, now we got decent audio and a pretty cool little video effect. I personally am going to use this same effect on a zombie cryo chamber that I'm going to build later this year. So, hope you enjoyed this.
This year, while setting up my haunt, I made a real effort to take progression photos every few hours or so as I went along. I always wanted to do a time-lapse video, but instead of just setting up a camera and letting it run and then just, fast forwarding it through it all or using some sort of time-lapse, camera app, I took a shit ton of photos from a few different angles and edited them all together. I wasn't really sure how the video would come out doing it like this, but surprisingly, it came out pretty damn good. Not great. Next year I will do some things different, but in the end it really wasn't all that bad. And I'll tell you, it was fun to go back and see the haunt come to life from the ground up. I do admit though, it was a pain in the ass to constantly set up the camera and tripod before I started working every day. And I had to try my best to keep the shots lined up from the previous day. And then the hardest part of it all was actually remembering to go over and press the shutter release button every once in a while. But in the end, like I said, I found it to be a great way to record something that usually no one really gets to see. So here it is, the building of Pandemic Cemetery. But real quick though, one thing you might notice in the video, which I'm pretty sure you're going to notice in the video, I started building the haunt in my backyard, and you see the plywood and everything being set up. Then all of a sudden, the entire haunt jumps to the side of my house in my driveway. Originally, I was going to do a walkthrough in my backyard and was well on my way to doing just that when my asshole neighbors called the township on me, and I was forced to stop what I was doing and move everything back into my driveway. So since I was in a rush to get it all moved, I didn't photograph that part, but I did start taking photos again right where I left off, so you didn't really miss anything. But anyway, here it is, the rise of Pandemic Cemetery. Well, that's it for this episode of Dead with Dave. I hope you've all enjoyed. Next episode, we're going to talk about Audio Zombie and their new album they released called Penumbra. I was actually given this album a few months ago, but I haven't had a chance to record the review. But I have been listening to it in my car, and I have to say once again, I'm totally floored by what Audio Zombie creates. Just awesome, unique music. I absolutely love what they do. Full review next time, I swear. I just keep putting it off more and more and more, but I'm going to get to it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please click the little subscribe button down below. Please go over to pandemichauntproduction.com for more Halloween and haunt-related goodness, and to find out how to become a Pandemic member. For only a $30 donation to the show, you will get full access to all my downloadable content for 1 full year, which include all my prop plans, my Pandemic video effects, music, sound effects, software, and much more. There will be a link down below if you want to check it out. Again, thank you HauntBots.com for letting me review their 4Play prop controller. To get your own or to check out the rest of HauntBots product line, go over to HauntBots.com. And if you're a Pandemic member, you get a 10% discount by using the promo code listed in the members only section. That's a pretty good savings, so you might as well use it. Okay, that is it. I will see you next time. Good night. Hey guys, I'm just finishing up editing episode 50 of the Dead with Dave show. I want to give a quick thank you to Jason Becker for coming and doing a segment for me. We kind of set this up last minute, so I didn't have time to thank him in the closing statement of the show, but I want to thank him now. And if you guys want to see more of him on the show, please leave a comment down below. Tell him you want to see him on the show. Tell him you want him back. So I really love what he did. I really think he will add to the Dead with Dave show. So yes, again, thank you, Jason. You did a great job on your segment, and I hope to see you come back on the next episode.